Hi, I'm GP3, and wow, what a day. Okay, so wake up this morning, go through ritual, go through practice, gather self together, get the download, put it out, put it out, and here we are in a third time now today, getting to a little bit of action. As soon as I put this message out on sovereignty and establishing with a certain core, went through a massive shift, knocked me out. Yeah, just for a little bit. Woke up from that or came out of that and felt like something very long let off had finally made a cascade. Yeah, and I believe it's when we have the revelation of self that simply we collapse our own structures in the zone that we're looking at. If we haven't been treating with consideration, we'll find out actually that those structures will crumble at a certain point. I noticed that there's a lot of energy right now trying to pull left or right. Are you going to go back into materialism? Are you going to become the person that's wrapped up into materialism? Or are you going to become the super spiritual and then risk ego? Maybe it's your test. You have to go through that aspect. Super spiritual for the awakening of the all structure, the source all structure. And I was thinking, wow, okay, so as soon as I did that, man, I just went out. I went out. So there could be a combo that I was hitting numbers on top of numbers. That's one of the things I wanted to talk about. When the starseeds out there doing these activations and these number crunchings, remember that we're actually crunching new numbers now. So that means old structures, you're going to ping maybe a little against an old structure, but you're not to be called to go back into that mentalism. You got to ping it and then keep moving into that center channel structure of yourself, so that when you come out of it, yeah, you might have felt like you went through what the heck, but you'll actually feel like you should feel lighter. Okay, so a lot of these things are happening right now, today, right now, and maybe some of you are feeling it. From a different cosmological angle. Aries peers in and actually peers in and peers looking at self immediately. So that structure is being, well, gratefully handled now. It's interesting. Also, the verbal execution of detoxification. I am healed. I am restored. All of my cells work together as one in this unified body. My mind, my body, and my spirit complex are in perfect trinity. These are the aspects of the highest self collection. Okay, and so right now some are going to go through a whole releasing process right now. A lot of breakups right now going down because of this new structure coming in. Yeah, hi. There was a steward or ambassador of light that came through each camp across the world. We realized in coming in that we would be there for a minute, but we were actually moving through to show light of reason. Now, I did meet a couple that wanted to parasite. I did meet a couple that wanted to mimic. I was reminded along the way while the mimic was trying to gather the data so that it could pretend like it was me, was that I was already actually the highest self moving through and exposing through light. So, well, one of the things that darkness does not want is to be exposed, and darkness is hiding in closets of people's souls, or they're soulless. Yeah, you have to wonder, okay, look, down here we have an ancient story of fallen ones. And they were the ones that were supposed to be kept in the regard of the purity of the divinity, and instead they handed over technologies and got involved with the feminine. Yeah, it turns out angels, fallen angels, really dug the feminine, and they do anything to subjugate the feminine in mentalism of non-equality of a soul. Looking eye to eye. No, they can't do that. Okay, so we're in the timeline of that separation where the starseeds went in to reveal the fallen ones. Boom, soul pop, right? Okay, that's the big one today, because we're reminded that structures are interesting in the quantum field. We build structures on choice and on the vision that we're creating in that structure. There is only some noticing to go say, nope, no, 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 and revealing, and then we kick it out. We move it out. So that's the aspect of being aware. Yeah, you're now fully aware. And I know that there were some things that were very hurtful. You can see in the imagery of a lot that's been done here, the sickness of those that would simply want more. Materialism is the aspect. So Satan is on. Yeah. Unfortunately, the system, you might say, is built on that. And I would say in degree, because only that, it actually started in the center channel. Our true authentic will force was in play, but we actually subjugated, gave our power over in trust of something and someone that was not going to ever be responsible. No, they were playing a game on con. Yeah, con games are really interesting. Fallen ones know how to do this, okay? So the technology that they use is manipulating you by giving you maybe attention that you've never had for the first time, or maybe you see them, that they're aware of the things you're doing in attention, but it takes time for it to reveal that they had no substance of their own. Okay, there's something not in the heart structure that allows them to hold self wholeness. Yeah, well, is that a Piscean thing? You know, truly, is it an aspect of the Piscean? And the answer is it absolutely is an aspect of the Piscean. As Aries, I've had to put a boundary between this sign next to me because it's the end. And in the ending, we truly want that to go to its end so that it can now learn and pick up the new structures of self-development if they are not part of a pre-fallen group. You see what I'm saying here? Because they've been playing game the whole time knowing this, all right? I was warned a couple times by a couple fallen ones not to let out information to the people. And it was at that point I realized that source within me that was moving through was never going to have any kind of long partnership with that. That's dirty. Okay, we're not subjugating. We're not putting the feminine into a cuckold again. We're not bringing the masculine into one. No, this is a leveling and a balancing now of self-identity. 7 principles of Hermetics, friends. Yeah, this place is duality. So you have to learn to center structure so you don't get pinned between choice points that are less greater consequences, lessen consequences, because that means we're doing a cleanup job. All right, so these are the good things that we are putting into practice today. Secondly, coherence. Yeah, got to come into coherence, and this is the timeline of heart coherence, which is really an ability to let go of this world's problems now. You can bring yourself into heart coherence and just simply sit with yourself. You're going to actually start getting the smile. You are, I promise you. Getting with self and healing and mending this zone right here. The swag zone. Yeah. Hey guys, it's a long time. I interviewed the swag at the Grateful Dead 50th anniversary shows for liveforlivemusic.com, and there was an aspect of having a lot of fun, but there was some information that needed to get in about meeting new people from the area, because here I am. All right, so there's something to that one. All right. All right, you know what I mean? Living in the new structures. Okay. Maybe after getting knocked out, you come out of it and you remember yourself and you remember your past. You remember that critical key moment where no one can take that away from you as a child, and you remember that's who you are. You know what I mean? Like that childlike, youthful disposition, that childlike, youthful heart and vigor. You know, that is the state before programming. All right, they've gotten some programming because they're already learning English language, which is actually one of the worst base language programs on the planet. Yeah, the dumb down. But that was intended, because if you knew Latin, you would actually start moving in intelligence. One word means 5 things. Ooh, so good. Yeah. You know what I mean? Why don't you actually pick up a couple Latin words today about things? Let's try one right now. We're PCing the term nature, so that it will resonate truly with the organic and not be stolen away energetically to a thing out there. So we're going to use the word essentia. 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 That is the occurring essence of this place. That is the actual word in Latin. All right, we learned something today. All right, we're coming up on a 10-minute. please go and like and subscribe at Soul Searching with GP3 on Instagram. And then please go like, subscribe, and follow also on the YouTube channel that's being built right now. We're activating, and we've got a lot of interviews coming up. We're actually posting our first interview with New Earth Festival this week here in the next few days. I'm so excited. It's prepared, it's ready, it's already scheduled. So we will get the information out tomorrow about that, and then we're going to open up it wide. All right, you're with GP3 on Soul Searching.